my channel. Hi, my name is Ty. Welcome back to my channel. How y'all doing? So, from the title, you already know what it is. So, go ahead and grab all of your goods so that you can get this party started. Before we get into anything, though, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to my channel. Let me know what y'all want to see. I know I haven't posted any like other content, like any other content, but other than like my Bible study videos. But it's like, y'all, what I'm like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say I don't know what to post, but like, I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna have more content coming like on the regular side of my channel where we just do like girly stuff. But for right now, we here for Bible study. So period. Go ahead and get all your things, so we can have Bible study. Before we get into anything, you already know. Don't forget to turn on post notifications so that you can be notified when I post my next video, and you can come spend time with me, honey. And follow me on all my other social medias. My link tree is down below, so you can go there in the description. You can go find it, and it has my social medias, where I'm doing a series on TikTok where I'm going to be revamping all of my old wigs. This is one of them. Cute, right? Like, it's giving, I've been swimming at the edge of the water long as I can remember. So, yeah. Okay, so the Bible story that we're going to be reading today is coming from 1 Kings chapter 18. It's with Elijah and Obadiah. So, if you don't know who Elijah is a prophet, and he gets down, he don't play, okay? Obadiah was a palace administrator. Elijah and Obadiah, it says, after a long time, in the third year, the word of the Lord came to Elijah. Go and present yourself to Ahab, and I will send rain on the land. So Elijah went to present himself to Ahab. Now the famine was severe in Samaria, and Ahab had summoned Obadiah, his palace administrator. Obadiah was a devout believer in the Lord. While Jezebel was killing off the Lord's prophets, Obadiah had taken 100 prophets and hidden them in 2 caves, 50 in each, and had supplied them with food and water. So Ahab was hiding the prophet. Ahab had said to Obadiah, go through the land to all the springs and valleys. Maybe we can find some grass to keep the horses and mules alive, so we will not have to kill any of our animals. So they divided the land they were to cover, Ahab going in one direction and Obadiah in another. As Obadiah was walking along, Elijah met him. Obadiah recognized him, bowed down to the ground, and said, is it really you, my lord Elijah? Yes, he replied. Go and tell your master Elijah is here. What have I done wrong? Asked Obadiah, that you are handing your servant over to Ahab to be put to death? As surely as the Lord your God lives, there is not a nation or a kingdom where my master has not sent someone to look for you. And whenever a nation or a kingdom claimed that you were not there, he made them swear that they could not find you. But now you tell me to go to my master and say, Elijah is here. I don't know where the Spirit of the Lord may carry you when I leave you. If I go and tell Ahab and he doesn't find you, he will kill me. Yet I, your servant, have worshipped the Lord since my youth. Haven't you heard, my Lord, what I did while Jezebel was killing the prophets of the Lord? I hid 100 of the Lord's prophets in 2 caves, 15 each, and supplied them with food and water. And now you tell me to go tell my master and say, Elijah is here. He will kill me. Elijah said, as the Lord Almighty lives, whom I serve, I will surely present myself to Ahab today. I was just like, baby, I ain't trying to handle that. I'm presenting myself to Ahab today. Okay? So Obadiah went to Ahab and told him, and Ahab went to meet Elijah. When he saw Elijah, he said to him, is that you troubler of Israel? I have not made trouble for Israel, Elijah replied. But you and your father's family have. Ooh. You have abandoned the Lord's commands and have followed the Baals, which was a different god. Now, summon the people from all over Israel to meet me on Mount Carmel, and bring the 450 prophets of Baal and the 450 prophets of Asherah who eat at Jezebel's table. So Ahab sent word throughout all Israel and assembled the prophets on Mount Carmel. Elijah went before the people and said, how long will you waver between 2 nations? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal is God, follow him. But the people said nothing. Then Elijah said to them, I am the only one of the Lord's prophets left, but Baal has 450 prophets. Get 2 bulls for us. Let Baal's prophets choose one for themselves, and let them cut it into pieces and put it to wood, but not set fire to it. I will prepare the other bull and put it on the wood, but not set fire to it. Then you call on the name of your God, and I will call on the name of the Lord. The God who answers by fire, he is God. Then all the people said, what you say is good. So Elijah was like, okay. So he was like, go get your bull. I'm gonna get my bull, right? Cut your bull up, put it on the wood, but don't set the fire. And I'm gonna do the same thing. And you gonna call on your God, and I'm gonna call on the Lord. And whichever bull actually lights on fire without us doing it. So whichever one catches fire, that's who is the true and living God, like the true God. And so Elijah was like, baby, put your money where your mouth is, okay? Like, I'm not here to play no games. I'm not here to debate who is God, who is the real God. I'm going to show y'all, okay? Period. Because actions speak louder than words. Because he was like, baby, I ain't got to defend him. I'm going to show y'all. Big Eli, not the little one, okay? Period. So basically the people was like, okay, that's cool. We could do that. That's fine. Elijah said to the prophets of Baal, choose one of the bulls and prepare it first, since there are so many of you. Call on the name of your God, but do not light the fire. So they took the bull given to them and prepared it. Then they called on the name of Baal from morning till noon. Baal, answer us, they shouted, but there was no response. No one answered, and they danced around the altar they had made. At noon, Elijah began to taunt them. Shout louder, he said. Surely he is a god. Perhaps he is deep in thought, or busy, or traveling. Maybe he's sleeping and must be awakened. So they shouted louder and slashed themselves with swords and spears, as was their custom, until their blood flowed. Midday passed, and they continued their frantic prophesying until the time for the evening sacrifice. But there was no response. No one answered, and no one paid attention. So basically, the people, the prophets of Baal, the people who believed that Baal was God, they, Elijah was like, yeah, call on him, get him, what I'm saying, call on him. And the people were calling on him from morning till noon. They were calling on this man all this time, and nothing was happening. So Elijah, he think it's funny. Elijah was like, yeah. Matter of fact, Elijah was like, y'all not even talking loud enough. Shout louder. Then he was like, you know what? He is a god. Like, maybe he's traveling. Maybe he's busy. You know what? Maybe he's asleep. Like, Elijah over here playing in these people's face like, you know what? He might be asleep. That's probably why he can't hear y'all. That's probably why he ain't did nothing yet. And then the people started slashing themselves. They started, they drawing blood, trying to get Baal to answer them. And Elijah just over here just kiki ha ha, twiddling his thumbs, kicking his feet, because he already know what's about to go down. And it says that they got no response from Baal. No one was paying attention. None of that. So they were just over here looking like some chickens with their heads cut off, acting a fool for nobody, no reason. Right. Verse 30. Then Elijah said to all the people, come here to me. They came to him, and he repaired the altar of the Lord, which had been torn down. Elijah took 12 stones, one for each of the tribes descended from Jacob, to whom the word of the Lord had come, saying, your name shall be Israel. With the stones he built an altar in the name of the Lord, and he dug a trench around it large enough to hold 2 sheaves, basically 24 pounds of seed. He arranged the wood, cut the bull into pieces, and laid it on the wood. Then he said to them, fill 4 large jars with water and pour it on the offering and on the wood. Do it again, he said, and they did. They did it again. Do it a third time, he ordered, and they did it the third time. Now, mind you, right, just for a little context, after they didn't get Baal to light the fire, Elijah was like, okay, period, it's my turn. So Elijah, he does what he prepares the bull, lays it on the wood, right? Now Elijah tells them to go get 4 large jars of water so that he can pour it on the bull and on the wood. Now, I'm not a Girl Scout. Listen, I have never lit a fire by myself, like with wood and stuff. But I know that if the wood is wet, if you're trying to light a fire on wet wood, it's not gonna light, because it's wet. Like, it needs to be dry. It needs to, what I'm saying, like, the equilibrium and the velocity and the velociraptor of the wood has to be perfect. So that's basically, if you're trying to light a fire, your wood needs to be dry. It cannot be wet, or it's not gonna light. I know that, right? So Elijah's doing all this to prove a point. He said, get 4 large jars of water and pour it on the bull, pour it on the wood. And they said that the water, it was so much water that it even filled the little trench that they dug around it. Right? Right. So scientifically, this fire should not light. It should not be able to work because it's wet. Like, and it's not even like it's damp. No, it's soaking wet. So scientifically, this should not catch fire. Just for a little context, okay? At the time of the sacrifice, the prophet Elijah stepped forward and prayed, Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, or Jacob, let it be known today that you are God in Israel, and that I am your servant and have done all these things at your command. Answer me, Lord, answer me, so these people will know that you, Lord, are God, and that you are turning their hearts back again. Okay, verse 38, it says, Then the fire of the Lord fell and burned up the sacrifice, the wood, the stones, and the soil, and also licked up the water in the trench. When all the people saw this, they fell prostrate and cried, The Lord, He is God, the Lord, He is God. Then Elijah commanded them, Seize the prophets of Baal, don't let anyone get away. They seized them, and Elijah had them brought down to the Kishon Valley and slaughtered there. And Elijah said to Ahab, Go, eat and drink, for there is the sound of the heavy rain. So Ahab went off to eat and drink, but Elijah climbed to the top of Carmel, bent down to the ground, and put his face between his knees. Go and look toward the sea, he told his servant, and he went up and looked. There is nothing there, he said. 7 times Elijah said, Go back. The 7th time, the servant reported, A cloud as small as a man's hand is rising from the sea. So Elijah said, Go and tell Ahab, hitch up your chariot and go down before the rain stops you. Meanwhile, the sky grew black with clouds, the wind rose, and heavy rain started falling, and Ahab rode out to Jezreel. The power of the Lord came on Elijah, and tucking his cloak into his belt, he ran ahead of Ahab all the way to Jezreel. Elijah knew what he was doing. Elijah wanted to prove a point. Because like I said, if you've ever had to light a fire like with your hands, not with a little lighter, if you ever had to light a fire, you know that your wood has to be dry. Elijah knew that scientifically, since the wood was wet, it was not supposed to catch fire at all. It was not going to work. But he knew who his God was. He knew what the Lord can do. He knew that if he called on the Lord, he was going to set that thing on fire. And what happened? Fire fell from heaven. The Lord sent that fire and burnt up that wood. He burnt up everything. Okay? And everybody, they fell down like they fell down prostrate, meaning that they fell down, tooted up, them booties was in the air, and they was like, Lord, you are God, Lord, you are God, Lord, you are God. And Elijah was probably like, if I was Elijah, I would have been like, yeah, right, because y'all thought I was lying, because y'all thought Baal was gonna do that, but Baal ain't do that now, did he? Now, okay, like I'm not trying to, you know what I'm gonna say, I'm not trying to be prideful and boastful and nothing like that, but you know what I'm saying, like, now look at y'all looking crazy. And everybody was like, oh, so his God is like, his Lord is God for real. And Elijah was like, yup. And the Lord was probably up there like, And then Elijah didn't even stop there. Elijah got all the people all the prophets that were of Baal, maybe he had them slaughtered. Okay? Slaughtered. As if they were that bull themselves. Baby, they said, now I didn't heard about Elijah. They said Big Eli get down, he don't play. Like, he is not the one you want to mess with. So I can't wait to read more stories from Elijah. But I just found it so funny how Elijah was like, yeah, call on him. You know what? He might be asleep. Go wake him up. And then he was like, you know what? It's my turn to do the offering. I'm gonna go ahead and pour water on it. So I'm gonna technically sabotage it so that it's not, you know what I'm saying? So that in your mind it's not gonna work. Just to show you how my Lord is gonna make it work. Like, what? Because what? Like, don't play with my God. Don't do that. And now look at y'all. All the ones that thought that they was eating, all the ones that thought Baal was gonna come to their rescue, slaughtered. Probably chopped in bits and pieces right along with that bull. Looking crazy. But yeah. That was a tea. That was a little tea for y'all. But I gotta go right now. So I will come back to y'all later. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this video, turn on my post notifications, follow me on Instagram, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.